Welcome to the Create with Katrina Julia show by Fit Life Creation, where we talk all the things on wellness, faith, marketing, business, and travel to create a life and business you love. I've been there, friend. I've walked from fear to faith, self-hate to love, corporate to calling, and bondage to freedom, along with transformation in every area of my life. I'm right here with you, walking along on my own path to creating. So tune in so that you learn how to create a life and business you love, hands-on. Let's create it. To day 28 of the 30-day challenge. So I am so excited to be here with you guys as I wrap up the first 30-day challenge on my YouTube and all the channels. And today we are talking about community. So as I have been sharing that, I recently, about a month ago now, left Atlanta after my lease in Buckhead had ended in May, which I had already made the decision back in March to travel again full time. I was going to leave the end of May, but then a really good friend of mine, Silvana, wanted help with house sitting, with dog sitting. And the 2 months that I jokingly say, a Marriott housewife, was so enjoyable from the aspect of especially being surrounded by unconditional, literally puppy love times 2 with the 2 puppies. I say puppies, but they're 4.5 years old as of this recording, Tucker and Cooper. Such a joy, you guys. And then initially I was going to go to Ecuador when I was thinking about travels back in March and April. And that's where I had, in a sense, left off with my South America travels as I shifted from South America to go see my parents in Portugal back in 2022. And definitely check out my video on my almost 2 years of full-time travel and all the things I learned and so much more. However, as I was shifting and I felt as my soul was shifting and evolving and growing, I was realizing how much I was craving not just sunshine, but also community. And imagine my surprise as I started to research and dive deep into communities around the world, digital nomad communities, landing on Playa del Carmen. Because in the past, I had gone through Playa del Carmen, on an adventure, briefly, or in 2021, I'd come through here to actually go snorkeling and on an adventure to Cozumel with Silvana and her family. And so imagine my surprise when I discovered that Playa del Carmen had a great digital nomad community. And as I came here, I've definitely connected with different wellness communities, as likely you guys have seen, or as you can see on my YouTube channel, with sunrise yoga, with ice baths, with Nest co-working that I've been sharing throughout this challenge. And I've been intentionally seeking that and creating meetups for beach boot camps, for co-work sessions, expanding and creating and letting my soul lead me and co-create and align. Faith without works is dead, to expand our retreat offerings with retreats in Greece, in Barcelona, in Bali coming up, and more. And see, as I take aligned and intentional action, see and, co-create and manifest at the same time. What started to come up for me was that, and let me pause here, because I'm a big believer that we are like balls of yarn. Like, as we submit and surrender to the process, and as we transform and as we evolve, like I'm mimicking, pulling out the yarn, there's a lot of yarn still left on the ball of yarn, right? Or another way you can equate it is like an onion, we peel off the onion or we cut the onion, there's more layers to be unpeeled, right? Or an iceberg that you see this much on the tip of the iceberg. Well, there's this much underneath the surface to be discovered, to be explored, to be transformed. Okay. So as I was shifting, deciding, I was different, that I did not want to spend another winter in Atlanta, that I knew I would be back in the spring or summer, but that I would not spend the winter, that I was not going to initially travel to Ecuador right away, that I was going to come to Playa del Carmen. And then as I was co-creating these communities, which leads me to this challenge for you in this segment of creating communities, is that two things. I was feeling pulled to align to a city that will feed my soul, speak to my soul in a multitude of areas in community. And what kept coming up for me, surprisingly, for two reasons, was Los Angeles. And the reason why it's surprising is most of you don't know, in fact, probably all of you don't know, is I was going to go to college at USC in California. However, I made the decision to not go because of a boyfriend I was dating at the time, and being fearful and scarcity minded and just different things with that. And I would say insecure, really. And then the second reason, so one, that's one surprise. And then two, I did not fully realize the community I had already been co-creating within and through Los Angeles now for years. So faith community, I've been tuning in and listening and gotten so much value and feeding of my soul and deliverance through Apostle Catherine Crick and 5F Church on a faith aspect. And, and these things started coming to me, you guys, as divine downloads and as drops, or as divine drops or divine downloads over a period of weeks through the actions I'd previously taken. Okay. Then two, as I started to feel my soul being pulled more and more and more again to in real life community. And that's the other thing that this is coming up for me, is like in real life community, also with wellness. And I have a huge ability to connect and create with communities in Los Angeles with Herbalife. So with events and success training seminars, with nutrition clubs, and then also create ongoing beach boot camps, ongoing co-creative community with whatever place I end up with Hello Landing or other networks like Hello Landing. And also with marketing. I am part of Brendan Bouchard's community now for years, and now he started deciding to host in-person real life events with the Ultra. And as a Growth Day member, I get access to get tickets at $100 or less, depending on what promo they're running currently. Then also I realized, wait a minute, marketing communities I'm part of, like Social Curator and potentially like Jasmine Star, they are starting to explore masterminds or different things. Then I was part of True Femme online event recently, which my soul has been speaking to me to align, and I've devoured Rachel Sherrill's True Femme podcast over the last several months. So there was several things. And is that happening overnight? No, because I'm setting intentions, I'm co-creating, I'm setting up actions. At the same time, my soul is calling me. So my first challenge to you is, what communities are calling you to co-create with online and or live? And how can you start setting the intention and co-creating to make that become a reality and manifest that reality? Okay. Number two, how can you create the community that you desire? So you heard portions of that already that I was talking about. Co-creating and creating, and I've been testing different things online and live with Los Angeles and Miami and Playa. And I'm imagining that and taking steps to align with that already. And I set up a co-living retreat and retreats across Greece, across Barcelona, across Miami, across Los Angeles, and more coming soon. So definitely check that out at fitlifecreation.com/retreats. Okay. Then I am also feeling all at the same time my soul calling me to even further create wealth and be an even better steward of my time and of my money with aligned actions and discipline and co-creation with things like this, like a 30-day challenge and different 30-day challenges every single month. Because not only are they feeding my soul and causing me to rise up, but obviously those of you listening. So that's my challenge to you. That's my third challenge to you. How can you co-create further what you desire with the tools and the tips and the tech that you have at your fingertips? Okay. And so that is calling to me. And then speaking of community, also on a personal level, beyond love is aligning to and being that better financial steward is also aligning and connecting with family more. So as I've been creating this community to take a European tour further in Europe with the retreats, with vacations, the co-living, my soul has been speaking to me about possibly going to Europe to surprise my goddaughter and or to see my parents, which I wasn't expecting either, but I'm submitting and surrendering to the process. So with this video, my challenge to you with community is what communities are calling to you to co-create and to speak to your soul and to feed your soul, okay? So which ones are calling to you to speak to your soul? 2, which ones are calling to you to co-create online and live? Where do you need to submit and surrender, whether it's on personal, financial, or family type levels? So all this even is blowing my mind, but I'm starting and learning still how to slow down, be more intentional, and focus as I create it. So if you haven't yet, hit subscribe, drop a comment in the chats on how you are going to create community. If you're listening in on the podcast, leave a review, drop your Instagram handle and your website so I can shout you out. And as always, friends, remember, create, transform, and inspire because you are born to. All the chats on faith, wellness, money, marketing, business, and travel so you create a life and business already. Head on over to the blog, the podcast, and the freebies to jumpstart your transformation. If you're ready to dive into the online courses, the live events, or the retreat, and if you want to create with our community on an even deeper level, definitely check out our internships, our influencer collaborations, management, and brand engagement. Let's create it.